I had someone respond to a few of my videos. And they were presumably Christian, just because of what they were trying to tell me, and also their profile picture said something about like Jesus loves me. And I love Christians for the most part, right? As a whole, I think they're really, really great. Personally, I grew up Mormon. I'm just not personally Christian at this moment. I feel like Christianity didn't allow me to fully build a connection with myself and with the spiritual universe around me. So let's talk about how our connection with ourselves really allows us to tap into the spiritual world all around us. Hi, guys. My name is Katie May, and I am your guide to building a brand based in authentic connection. One second. Boop. Okay, I'm back. So, one more second. The video that they commented on that really stuck out to me though was my identity, building awareness, building self-identity, and how this really allows you to find your place in this world a lot easier, right? And this person had some really great points. But one of the things that I can't fully agree with personally is they stated that you can't build self-identity. You have to build identity through Christ. And when I look at people, whether or not they're Christian, whether or not they're practicing some other religious belief, they might have very, very similar values, but their talents and their gifts and their ability to connect and express themselves is going to look different with each individual person. And while I think it's really amazing to have a religion that does have so many like great values and teaches so many great habits and practices, if we are also denying that we are individuals, that we all have individual talents that we have been blessed with, there is so much potential that we are not able to express and that we are not able to give to others, right? And in my personal experience, I tried the regular Christian method of repenting, praying to God, and asking for guidance and direction. And for me personally, I did not see the results in my life that I needed. But whenever I was able to take a step back, when I was able to tap into my body and truly connect with my emotions and truly understand the connection between my thoughts and my emotions and start to work through it, I did start to notice changes. And after I was able to tap into my emotions, I was able to go and then ask the universe for extra guidance. And I prefer to use the term universe over God because God primarily is talked about in a male sense, right? We say that he is here, he. And it's only one side of the coin, right? God the Father is the one that created everything, right? He's the one that helps to expand it this way. But then there's so much growth that happens this way, and that's only taken care of by Mother God, or Mother Nature, as we sometimes will call her, right? One more second. And it wasn't until I was able to ask Mother Nature for my extra wisdom and my extra guidance that I was able to truly find peace in my life. I was severely depressed, was very suicidal, always just very anxious. I didn't enjoy living, even though I was doing all these fun activities, like, just did not enjoy it. And the activities that I'm doing now really aren't that different than the activities that I was doing then. The difference now is the connection that I allow myself to have and the mindset that I go into these settings with. So sometimes what you're doing isn't the wrong thing when it's not working, right? But sometimes it is, you never know. And the only way you're going to know is through continuing to build a connection with yourself. And that's why I think it's so special and so important for us to continue to build connections with ourselves, because all the talents that I've been blessed with and have developed over the years are not going to be the same talents that Jimmy down the street has. And maybe our values and our goals are the same, that we want to share these with the world and that we want to help other people through using our talents. However, the talents that he has are going to be completely different than me, because if everybody and their mother was here and all that we knew was to build houses, we'd have no beautiful paintings to put up in our houses. We would have no cooking ware to use inside of our houses, right? So as much as we can have like the same core values, we also do need to understand a little bit more. I didn't know there was water in there. We do also need to understand a little bit more about our self-identity in the process. And there's a few ways that you get to develop that self-identity, right? I talked about it a little bit more in my video, but we're going to go over it again, because I think there's just a lot of pieces that we miss out on when we don't fully accept that we are individuals and we have all been blessed with beautiful, unique talents and abilities. And it's my belief that we are here to use them to try to help ourselves work through all the craziness that we've been through, and to also help others work through all the craziness that they've been through. So, man, my back hurts. I feel like to really develop a true sense of identity and to figure out like your purpose, because for me, I can't focus on what I think my purpose is anymore. I'm just here to just share information and do the best that I can. When I was super duper focused on like finding my purpose, I just wasn't happy, right? I was unfulfilled. I was like, I'm not doing it right. And when I could drop that limiting the belief of like, I'm not doing it right, and transmute that into something bigger of like, I've never done it wrong, right? I've always just been learning. I've always worked through the hardships that have been placed in front of me, and that's brilliant. That's beautiful, I'm like, okay, like, it's okay. Like, I'm gonna figure it out, I've never been doing it wrong. I've always just been learning. And I feel like a lot of the times we don't give credit to ourselves, right? Like, I put a lot of pressure on myself to really figure things out and to find a way through and to help other people, just because of my personal upbringing. And there's times where I have to take a step back and be like, oh my gosh, like, I really am only 22. And I've done such an amazing job at working through a lot of the hard emotions that came with my father kicking me out of the house. and not having any family members reaching out, like contacting me, checking in on me. I felt horribly alone and isolated. And I feel like a lot of people, especially coming into adulthood, they feel the same way. You know, not everybody has great relationships with their parents. And for other people that have maybe gone through something similar, um, there's a lot of anger and a lot of resentment that comes up. And I feel like when I was in that state of not knowing how to work through those emotions, like it made my life really miserable. And I didn't notice that it was miserable as much during the next couple years. I really hid from it through the use of drugs and alcohol. And it was nice for that time being, right? To just hide away from those emotions. But then there came a time where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I don't want to be smoking my life away, like, for the next however many years I'm able to live like this. Like, this isn't an ideal way to live. Like, this doesn't bring me joy or fulfillment. So I started meditating more, right? I started building that mindfulness about my body and my awareness to it. And what's really crazy is as I started to build this awareness, when I was primarily smoking weed, by the way. Um, After I started to build this mindfulness and this awareness and getting in touch with my bodies and my emotions, I would get progressively more sick every time that I would over consume cannabis. And it got to a point where I was like, why can't I smoke the way I used to, you know? Like, what is wrong with my body? And it's because I finally allowed my body to start speaking its mind. I gave it that place. I tapped into myself and I said, "Hey, what do you need? What what can I change to make you feel better?" Right? And it gave me the answers. And it's not like direct, like it's not like a voice inside my head was like, "Stop smoking weed," you know, because I wouldn't have listened to it anyways. But like my body started to have actual physical reactions. I started to feel sick if I was around too much weed. And then progressively, the same thing started to happen with alcohol. Like, I wouldn't even be drunk, and it had been like months since I had been drinking. And I would feel so horribly sick. And I would be like, what the heck? Like, I haven't even been drinking that much, and I'm already about to puke? Like, this is so lame. And it's because I continued to allow my body to have a place in my life. I continued to allow my emotions to have a place in my life. And the more that I came to this understanding and recognizing it, the more that I was able to like actually sit down, like, and tap into myself and be like, okay, babe, like, obviously you don't like alcohol. So what can we do different? You know, like what needs to change? So I I haven't been like extremely healthy, to be honest, in the things that I eat and in the amount of water that I drink. Like, I go through phases and cycles, but the more that I pull myself away from it, the more that I'm actually able to connect with myself more, and the more that I'm able to ask for that guidance and wisdom from the world around me. And a lot of the time that's in the form of trees, it's in the form of birds, it's in the form of stillness and acceptance and listening. um, there's so much beautiful wisdom that is there to be shared with you when you're willing to actually start tapping into it. And I think there's a huge breaking moment that comes in once you can build that awareness around your body and the world around you. And once you're starting to use your talents to continue to build that awareness. I love painting, and watercolor is one of my favorites. It's super convenient to just like pack in a little bag and carry with me. Like, I have a little watercolor palette, and I love it. Like, there's a piece that comes with it, but so many just fun experiences that I'm like, okay, like, that was my sign. Like, thank you, universe. Like, that's exactly what I needed. So, thank you. So, if you're kind of struggling to figure out like your purpose, like, don't stress, man. Like, your purpose is going to change every 10 minutes. So, the less that you're able to focus on like this overall purpose, like the more that you're able to work through life and its emotions and everything that comes with it, which is much greater ease. If you're in a place where you're super depressed and anxious right now, you don't need to change anything. Just bring a little bit more awareness into your life, right? And that can happen through mindfulness. Mindfulness can happen in a ton of different ways, so don't put pressure on yourself to have it all figured out right away. Mindfulness and your practice with it is gonna change hour to hour, day to day, and sometimes you'll see cycles repeat, but in my experience, they've always been a little bit different. And once you're able to build that awareness, will really allow your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings to come through and talk to you, because they're there for a reason. And if you are looking for any extra help on how to build a brand through authentic connection, click the link in my bio. I offer free one-on-one Zoom calls. There's going to be no sales pitches. Basically, we're just going to sit down. We're going to go over your business or your brand or whatever you're trying to do in life. And we're going to find at least 2 to 3 action steps that you can take today to start propel your life in the direction that you want it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below what you are going to do to build some extra self-awareness today. And I would also encourage you to like, share, and subscribe this video. I will see you guys next time though. Peace.